a fifth straight victory, huge win on the road at Arrowhead, and big W for the Houston Texans as they are now in the playoffs. Let's look at C.J. Stroud. We do this after each game. What was C.J. Stroud grade as we're looking? And I'm seeing a lot of people send some things in. Text line coming in B+ or A. He's got to be that field general that can overcome the OC. B-. He was missing some throws that he would have made his rookie season. D. Let's call a spade a spade. CJ has insane ability talent-wise. Mills is a distant second, but Mills would not be able to make that 3rd and 17 throws. So CJ can do things he can't do. C+, he was not accurate, and that's his strength. Maybe B- because no interceptions. Clint, for you, what was your grade for him?
It was a B- for me, Ron, and here's why. Look, I think the first half, and I'm going to talk about this at 4 o'clock. The first half was vintage CJ from 2023 is what we're looking for, and did some really good things. But when you look at kind of what knocked him down for me is, I don't care who the quarterback is, I don't care what system you're in. When you can't handle situational football, when your offense can't, that's a quarterback problem as well. Now, I think it's the OC. I think the lack of preparation is embarrassing, but there's a level of man, you're expected to be a big-time quarterback. You got to take this bull by the horns. Look at that second half. I can't give anybody even remotely close to an A that has 3 completions in the second half. Again, a lot of it's not on him, but it is what it is. It would have been a C, but he made some big-time throws in critical moments of this game to give us a chance. And so I went with a B- based off the TV copy of this game right here. I went B-.
Yeah, I think it's B- C range to me. Just because now that we know Clinton, I agree with you, I think the OC's got to help. But now that we know Clint, that he does have some power in terms of determining calls right there at the line of scrimmage. I mean, you would think he would put himself in the line as well as Nick Caley in better positions. Because there were times they're walking right up there. I don't know if they're shifting, sliding the protection one way, whatever it was. People are just coming through easy. And to me, when we know that he has the ability to have some semblance of control on the protections, especially in that 3rd and 4th quarter, I do think some of that has to fall at his feet as well. This is different from maybe years past. So I'll go B- because he just made some plays, and he outdid in Patrick Mahomes. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in this game on the road in a game that Patrick Mahomes had to have. So I'll give him a B-, but the protection calls, some of that's got to fall with him.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, when you're the quarterback and your offense, including you, looks overwhelmed for a quarter plus. When situational football, like when you come out of a timeout and you have to take another timeout to keep them getting delay game. When you have so many, like I don't know the details behind all of these alignment issues that the Texans are having, but it seemed to be less of an issue with Davis Mills. And so that leads you to believe that there's more importantly, DeMeco Ryans constantly talks about getting out of the huddle as a problem, right? And so I got to believe that there's some level of the operation of CJ in the huddle, getting everything's communicated and getting the huddle broke on time is delaying this offense to a certain degree. Now, again, to me, we're at a point in the season where the coach ought to say, hey, man, if that's a problem, hell with it, man. Get on the line of scrimmage and let's ride. Let's sugar huddle. Let's not huddle this thing all the way up. Let's figure out a way to get beyond it instead of keep beating a dead horse, right? But needless to say, as we're grading the quarterback, some of this has to fall at the feet of the quarterback. And
because that was the biggest issue with the offense was they just couldn't get protection well enough to give themselves a chance.
It's just back to the same old. I'm surprised we haven't heard the technique and mechanic stuff on the offensive line stuff. You know, it's the lack of communication. It's not breaking the huddle quick enough and getting the line of scrimmage so everybody can see what's going on and get their call, their assignment communicated. It's the same issues that we've been hearing for 2 years now with this. Now, I don't. Again, I think it's a coach's job to realize what a guy can and can't do. What is his limitations? And if this is a C.J. Stroud limitation thing, then figure it out as a coach to eliminate that from a problem and put the kid in position to do what he does in a special way, and that's going to make plays, right? It's just hard for me to believe, man, that it's just we're 2 years into this thing and we're still talking about communication and breaking the huddle. It's just wild. It seems like, and I don't study other teams, but it seems like other teams that have franchise quarterbacks that are established or guys that are coming like C.J. Stroud, it seems like they're so much further along when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? I mean, during that whole chaotic situation yesterday where C.J. Stroud snapping the football with not knowing where the pressure's coming, why did he never call a timeout? As a quarterback of that situation, you're the guy on the field, and you are put in a position where you're like, I have no idea how we're going to pick this up. Timeout, man. We got to talk about this.
Or what was happening when the drives ended.
Yes. Yeah, the whole thing. Like it's not.
When you had extended time over there.
It's an interesting dynamic, and in a segment where we're grading C.J. Stroud, I don't think all of that should be laid at his feet, but I do think obviously there's some responsibility of it there. In that rough third quarter and really the rough second half. So I can't go any higher than a B minus.
Our guy Joe, the old A&M Aggie, I see he gave him a D. He still looks clueless and lost more often than he should after 3 years. I don't agree with that at all, Joe. You know I love you. I still think he made some plays and some throws that they would have lost the game had he not made the plays.
Oh, there ain't no doubt about
that. The first touchdown, both touchdowns that the Texans scored last night, C.J. Stroud made plays that Davis Mills wouldn't even attempt to make. I don't even know if anybody else in the division could make the throw. The first touchdown they had, he's going to the sideline, and he goes cross-body to the middle of the field to Nico Collins. That leads into a big play that sets them. That's the big play that sets him up for the touchdown. And then when Andy Reid does make the bonehead decision and mistake, it's a third down, and he is pressured immediately by Jones and runs out and hits Higgins for a big first down that they don't score a touchdown if he doesn't make that play. Right, I think there's a real argument. You think Davis Mills, if that's who was in the game, would get sacked by Jones on that play, and he was able to. So he made plays that I believe they would have lost the game had he not made them. But as you said, man, you complete 3 balls in the second half, and your offense is just struggling. And we know that you're supposed to have the ability to make some decisions with the protection, and that was never getting better, and really never did. I think you get dinged a little bit there. So I'd say B minus.